Aloha, people. Merry Christmas, Adrian.
Merry Christmas. Soon. Christmas is
5 days.
next to the corner. Soon. 5 days away. Yes. Merry Christmas.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you for watching this today's episode. It's a fourth episode, so it's been almost a month now. And we want to really thank everyone for watching our episodes and our videos, for liking and following the page on all social media, because we keep receiving messages, which is really nice of you. Actually, people are getting interested in what we have to say, which is the sole the main purpose of these episodes. So they like the subjects, they like our special guests, and the entertainment. So if you want to keep watching, just subscribe and follow us as usual. We ask you to do this every week, but there is a reason behind that, right, Adrian?
Yes, this is true. Thank you so much for following us, and I hope you're gonna love more and more our videos and our interviews. Let's call them like that.
We wanna remind again people that we're not here to teach anybody anything. We don't share knowledge, we share experience. We have a lot of years experience, and even our special guests, or most of them, have a lot of experience in the hospitality industry, which is what we're here for, just to give you a chance to learn from our mistakes, if we can put it this way. One of the reasons. So in the past episodes, we had Martina, Marco, and Sergio talking us through many topics about hospitality. So you have all the episodes in the channel, in the YouTube channel. So please check them out. If you have any topic in mind, any favorite, let us know, and get into our favorite column of the week. Adrian, fun fact. Shoot.
Oh, amazing. Let's connect a little bit the fun fact from today with the fun fact from last week. And it's still going to be in a warmer place. I just want you to guess if you know in which city are the most tallest buildings or tallest hotels in the world.
In which tallest city? Hotels.
Yes.
I'll try.
Obviously, they're spread all over the world, some of them, but in one city, there are over
more
six,
than
I would say.
Over
more.
I'll go with Dubai. That's my guess.
You guessed it from the beginning. Amazing. Yeah, Dubai is the right answer.
Woohoo!
It's amazing how you get it. We should put some drums in here.
Winner.
Or some winner.
What do I win?
Yeah.
What did I win?
Some warm celebration and thoughts from me. That's not enough, obviously. Yeah. Okay. I will prepare. How can I say? A winning prize for you next time. Yeah. If you get it right. So yeah, Dubai has 6 out of 10 tallest hotels in the world. And the JW Marriott Marquis Dubai is the world's tallest hotel, having 76 stories, which is amazing to see. Can you imagine that view?
Can you imagine being afraid of heights and being in the top, top floor?
I can imagine.
You don't want to do that.
So, but still, it will be a hell of a view. And I think in one of from one of those tall hotels, you can go like with a bungee jumping, or you can do something between buildings, like a glide or something. You can glide between buildings. Wow, that's something amazing. It's beautiful. Yeah.
I don't know if I would do that, but maybe a few of our viewers.
At least it's beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
It's beautiful to watch. Yeah, this is nice.
So then we can do one thing. We're gonna invite today's special guest. Special guest. Let's put it this way. She's an amazing person. I've known her personally. I've worked with her. She's very fiery. She's entering the room right now, and we're gonna ask her this question right now. So let's meet Marta. Ciao, Marta.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, Marta.
Welcome here today. And before we haven't said much about yourself. So before you have the chance to introduce yourself a little bit, we want to ask you a question. Adrian just shared a fun fact. which is that the tallest hotel in the world has 76 stories. And I think he said he thinks, or I don't know, maybe he's drunk, but maybe they do some bungee jumping from the top floor, or
No bungee jumping. I think, yeah, zip lining. Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
zip lining
Zip
to
lining,
other like tall buildings, around Dubai,
And
which is
where
very
is it?
in
Yes.
Dubai.
Oh, and of course,
So,
Good
so
question.
the question is, would you do that? Would you zip line from the
Absolutely.
tallest? Oh, you see,
Already,
Yes.
I'm an
somebody who
adrenaline
doesn't
junkie.
scare.
I would go, not a second thoughts. Yes, I would
Yeah.
absolutely go.
Wow.
Thank you for sharing that. We needed a little bit of brave people in our interviews. So,
Yeah.
so having said that, I will ask you to share with the audience a little bit about yourself, your experience. Go ahead. You have the floor.
So very good. Well, first of all, I would like to thank you guys for thinking of me for this very interesting project that you're having. You're a very fun duo. So I had a lot of fun watching the other interviews, and I already subscribed. So also that.
That's
But but yeah.
Don't forget to share. Yeah. Don't forget to
Exactly.
share as well.
Like,
Yeah.
share, and subscribe. The whole thing.
Exactly.
But yeah, my name is Marta. I'm 29. I'm originally from Portugal. I started working in hospitality actually in my bachelor's with actually I started in connection with human resources. Those were my internships, and only then when I finished the master's and the degree, I started to join operations, where I work with Claudio in Hilton Malta. And up till this day, I use something that Claudio taught me every single day. So Claudio taught me how to pick up phones in Hilton Malta. He was the one, he heard me pick up the phone once, he rolled his eyes, and he was like, okay, Marta, we're going to do this properly. And up till today, so that's where Claudio's influence comes with me. Every day I'm still picking up phones, thinking really, really proud of me. And then I moved, so I stayed in Hilton Malta for 2.5 years, always at reception, first receptionist and then supervisor. Then I had the opportunity to come to Amsterdam to work at Waldorf Astoria Amsterdam, which at the time was the highest performing Waldorf worldwide. So it was a fantastic learning experience. It really, really was. And that's when I truly fell in love. I have always knew that I was good with the guest. You can feel it in your bones if you have that connection. And I knew I had it. But it was truly when I went to the Waldorf that I thought, okay, guest service is truly what I want, and in the luxury mindset, let's put it like that.
Beautiful.
So I worked for 1.5 years at Waldorf, and now I'm as a desk manager at Sofitel Legend the Grand, which is an Accor property. So for me, that started as a Hilton baby, which I think most of us, even the ones in these interviews, have started. It was definitely a step, but yes. Trying other companies, so also quite interesting.
Congratulations for your
well done.
For your career so far. Yeah.
What we do have in common is that we traveled around Europe, from Portugal to Malta to Amsterdam, in your case, and you grew professionally, so you had your career set up for you from the beginning. So well done once again. So as you said that, you feel it in your bones when if you can be good with guests and you have potential in yourself. So today's topic is customer service. And in a way, I couldn't wait for today's topic because maybe my passion for hospitality is, customer service is what I love the most about the job, among many other things. But what I love the most is customer service. So I will tell the audience that I picked you as a guest because you are, in my opinion, like a genuine customer service winner, from the beginning. And that's why we wanted to ask you questions and ask you to share with the audience what you think about a few things about customer service. So the first question that I had for you is, in my experience, having also been there, I've traveled the world, and I've always thought for many years now that the best customer service in the world is the American customer service in the United States. I have this thought in my head because I've been there many times, several times, and this is what I thought. So to give you a quick example, you walk into any kind of, it doesn't have to be a hotel or a restaurant, even into a shop, and they will greet you, good morning, sir, good afternoon. Oh, I love your shoes, like they will say something.
Yeah.
And I always say that at sometimes it feels like, and it might also be fake, it's not genuine customer service, it's fake customer service. But I've thought about it for a long time, and I've come to the conclusion that I would like to have fake customer service instead of no customer service at all. And another quick example that I can give is that always in San Diego, in California, once I was having breakfast in a hotel, and I had a waitress tell me, "Thank you for staying with us," which is the only thing that has happened to me in my life. You usually get it from the front office, but to get it from somebody in the restaurant, it was amazing. So what is your take between a real customer service, a fake customer service? What would you prefer? What do you think?
Well, for me, because I'm a very authentic person, I'm very genuine. And most of the times that was also something that I had to adapt with my customer service, because if I was taking it personal at some point, the guests could also understand. So even me, that I find myself a very genuine person, I also at some point need to comply and to be company and guest centric. And of course, I would always prefer a fake smile than no smile at all.
Very
Absolutely good. That. I think even if you're in hospitality, you're supposed to be there because you like people. You are literally paid to make connections. So I feel myself, I wake up every day and I'm like, okay, who can I meet these days? Which is the next nationality? Which is the next fun story? And ideally, all of my team would have the same mindset. But if they don't, as long as the guest believes they do, we're fine. We at the end of the day, it's all customer service. So as long as the guest is happy, we are happy. I have to be honest. The best customer service I have experienced was more in Asia. Was in Sri Lanka. I went last year, and it's also fantastic. The Asian standards. You go into a 4 stars and you feel ashamed of the 5 stars here in Europe. So it's also quite interesting. But I have to be honest. I think that the American customer service that you were asking me, sometimes it can feel a bit forced, and in Europe, I don't think it applies. Not your typical standards European guest is not looking for all that fuss and all that connection. And I think the main part is that you read your guests and you understand exactly what they want. And according to that, you're paid to be a chameleon. You're paid to fit at that moment and make sure the guest has a pleasant experience. I see you smiling, so I'm hoping you're agreeing so far. But
absolutely. Yeah, you can be the same with every single person. Otherwise, that wouldn't be customer. It would be the opposite of customer service sometimes.
You would be a robot. You would be a robot, and especially people that travel in the 5-star segments, they're also looking for something personalized. They're paying a lot of money for what they're getting, so they want to make sure that they get it until the end of the line. And of course, you're there to provide them that. And it's also because at some point, I think it's very easy. You stop thinking of money as in actual money. It's like, oh, it's just a small rate, but it's not. So regardless of how much you pay, I really believe that it's an effort, it's a luxury. So it's our obligation to provide the guest with the most unforgivable experience. Now, unforgettable, my apologies. Now, the best customer service, I feel that the best school was, I would have to say perhaps the Waldorf, because it was a very new property. Resources were completely unlimited. You had a free open road, and that's the ultimate dream. You're always the problem is always the budget. So then you're working in a place that there's no budget. I mean, of course, there is within common sense, and I noticed that it was the first time where I work in the property that from the technical department to the operator to everybody wanted to make dreams come true. And that is that's what you want, a motivated team as well. So. Yes.
Beautiful words. What does Adrian wants to say something?
I'm a little bit speechless. Obviously, I'm a little bit speechless, but I want to point something that you said. I want to underline something that you said. We are paid to be chameleons. Like you have to get to know the customer, and then tailor yourself after his taste, to be friendly, to be fast, to do this, to do that. Like, it's amazing how you put it. It's beautiful. And it brings me to my question, because you mentioned something about like unlimited budget now, because you had this
well, okay, that might have been a big of a word.
Not unlimited, obviously. Not, we all know that it's not unlimited. It's never unlimited. But you just mentioned something, and it brings me to my question. Of course, you, as Claudio described you, and how you described yourself as well, being customer service orientated. Yeah. Tell me, what would you choose, or what is your preference if you can choose? Let's say a happy guest, yeah, and the figures, the numbers, the revenue. Let's say you have in your restaurant, you have in your hotel, yeah, you have 100 tables, let's say, like that, yeah, and you have 70 spots filled. Would you fill those 30 more, or would you rather have 70 amazing covers, and then maybe 65, maybe 70, even 70 satisfied guests, and then you would have 100 tables just for the revenue? Okay, we had those 100 covers, the waiters were stretched, everything was stretched a little bit, but then we meet the budget, we meet the target, let's call it like that.
Well, you would meet the target for that night, but the guest would have felt rushed. The guest would have not felt the care. The guest would have known, oh, look at Marta, she seems nice, but she doesn't even have the time to talk with me. So I fully believe I prefer higher rates and lower occupancy, because if we're going for personalization, we also need, it also takes time to get to know the guest. And that's also supposed to be part of your checklist of actually getting to know the guest and making sure that this person, because especially in the 5-star segment, you need to follow up. These people, as we mentioned, they're paying high rates, they're having high expectations, and just a perfect check-in won't cut it. The perfect check-in is just the basic of what they're hoping for. So what the question needs to be is, how can we surprise them? And if you have a hotel at 100%, I fully don't believe you can have that easiness of mind that will allow you to perform. And what happens is, at least from my experience, the guest really values that, and the guest will return. So maybe you will not reach as a higher revenue, but we all know how important loyal guests are, and return guests, that's the ones we make the money off. So people that are loyal to the brand, that are loyal to the hotel, that know you by your name, those are the guests that you want. So I am a strong believer in lower occupancy and higher rates, because then you can justify your higher rates, because it's the attentive service.
I'm nodding like this from my head, because it's exactly my point of view of hospitality. I will rather go to a restaurant where I pay a little bit more and I have a little bit of my privacy. At least one table on my left or on my right is free, and then I can enjoy my night in
the sommelier. The sommelier will have 10 minutes for you and will tell you their perfect wine, and you'll connect, and you need time to make connections. So I truly believe in a bit of a lower occupancy. My dream occupancy, I always say, it's around the 70-75. Like this, you have rooms for if things go wrong, you have time for your guests, it gives you a good breathing space. So
So then I ask you straight like that. So what is wrong, and what is one suggestion that you would give to fix it? Because we work right now for big corporations, for international companies, that like they try and mix and balance the customer service, the returning guests, and the revenue, and then the budgets and everything. So why does this not always happen, and what do you think is wrong?
I think it's very easy to become greedy and think of occupancy in the house, as in rooms number, as the ultimate goal. It's, you think, oh my God, I have 90 rooms. If I don't have them filled up, I'm losing the money I'm doing it, for example. So I think it's a very careful balance that you need to have. And that's why I believe a revenue director is also one of the most important functions you can have in a hotel. Someone who has a good mindset and has the priorities straight and indeed says, okay, guys, we're focusing on experience, we're focusing on scores, and then the revenue will follow. So if you ask me what is there to fix, we're going to need a longer time, because I think there's still plenty of things that I also think that the bigger the property, the harder it is when it comes to provide luxury, because then of course you also are going to need to increase the amount of staff, which also increases the costs. So ideally, my solution, I would not make 1,000-room hotel and call it luxury plus. I would keep it in the comfortable hundreds. But yeah, and I think it's also about the staff fully understanding what they're expected to do, and that they're not there just to, of course, we want them to upsell, but for example, upselling, it's also customer service. You need to upsell to the right guest. So you're not supposed to be asking every single person. The upsell is, at the end of the day, it is to make the guest stay better. So you also need to target the right guests, you know, and you need to take that into consideration. Even the way you make revenue, it needs to be fluid and make sense.
I agree with you. And
tell me a little bit. Oh yeah, I just want to, sorry, Claudia, I just wanted to ask something before I'm going to lose my question and my thoughts, because she mentioned something about obviously about you said about the team, yeah, about the the persons that run the place 24/7. Obviously not only the revenue manager and the director of operation, or the general manager, and so on and so forth. The waiters, the receptionist, all personnel that you have in the hotel. Tell me a little bit. We all know that hospitality is segment where you enter very quickly, and then in the same time it flushes you very quickly, because it's always in a big changing and transformation. Yeah. So tell me how important it is to have trained personnel. Tell me if in those high-end hotels you have people with maybe 5, 3, 4 years experience. You teach them something differently. You put them into schools, into, I don't know, you mentioned so many years, which I think maybe, I don't know, 50% or maybe less of the restaurants have someone trained about wines. So I want to know things like that. It is something like this, or is just, you know, revenue, okay, whoever has a lower salary, costs minimum, and then keep everyone happy.
No, I don't think like that you can make everyone happy, you know, because you have, well, it's a very well designed industry if you think about it, because you have all the best schools, you have Glion, you have Vatel, you have all of this that automatically are sending the interns for these 5-star properties, which every couple of months you receive this incredibly wonderful trained person coming straight from the school that's 19 and has their whole life ahead of them and has ideas, and you know, so from the base our interns are super motivated. And then of course you have people, because if you're slacking, if you're not careful, if you're not doing it with a passion, it's going to show, because it's going to contrast against everybody else you have in the property. So I can assure you will not stay for long, because you will be caught, you are going to be asked, why are you not performing as you're supposed to? And so the people that I think that I found that have been for 4 or 5 years, they're pretty stable, because they have already, and that's why it's important as well to not keep on, the turnover at hospitality can be very mentally draining, either because for example, we all know that it's very common to have a bagagiste that's been working there for 20 years. And we've all been that one new person that they didn't even want to bother learning the name, because they said, God knows for how long more are you going to be here. And that also reflects in the guest journey, because like how nice it is for a guest to know the name of the receptionist, to see that the receptionist and the bagagist know exactly each other and are making a personal joke, and you make a personal joke with the guest and the guest feels like it's part of the team, you know, just like the most basic things. I believe everything shows in how the guest stays. Everything translates to that. So it's very interesting. I think the people that are really not made for that, in 1 year they will go. If you stay past the 2 or 3 years, then you know that you're one of those of us that love hospitality, loves being overworked and underpaid, but but you do it with a passion, and then you have these 20-year veterans that have seen everything, and they also bring a very interesting side to the perspective. So yeah, I do find the staff more motivated, to be honest, or at least more committed, because they also are proud of what they represent. So they're used to working, to being in the best teams of the city. And they're like, if a new hotel comes, they're like, excuse me, what? You know, you automatically get competitive, and you automatically want to not lose guests. And so it's an interesting dynamic. Absolutely.
I saw that. I saw that you said attention, like we always hear, you know, attention to details, but at the same time, I think also the guests and the customers nowadays have always more and more attention to details themselves. So they will feel and they will understand how we're feeling, what we're doing wrong, what we're doing right in less and less time. It's always...
And they will tell you. And they will tell you, like, hey, do you know I've been in this hotel and they're doing this better than you? You know, so they tell you. So you also need to prepare. And I think it's also super important that when it comes to customer service, like, I don't think there is one hotel in Amsterdam where I haven't gone in just to take a coffee, just to evaluate the competition, which I think it's also such an important thing when you're giving customer service, is evaluate how everyone else is doing it around you and what can you inspire yourself or
it's showing that interest. You know, you show this interest, it means that you care for your job, customer service, and so on and so forth. Adrian?
I think this thing happens just because people are fortunate enough nowadays to travel more and experience more in different places, and then comparing with experience and seeing other places, you compare things. Oh, why is happening in this country, this thing, and then it doesn't happen in this hotel? Whoa, something is wrong, or something is right there, or something is wrong here. So, yeah, exactly.
But every time I go to a hotel, it's not a vacation, it's a field trip. You know, I'm investigating. I stopped being able to enjoy hotels. Now it's just like, what are they doing that we can take?
I go back to the possibly the first question or the second question, because you said something that made me laugh in my head. You said that you'd rather have a hotel that's maybe, or a restaurant that's 75% full, so you have a free room or an empty room in case something goes wrong. And I remember that once it happened in our hotel in Hilton Malta, that we were full, you know, 410 bedrooms, and it was fully booked. And there was one guest that, you know, something went wrong, or maybe they wanted a room. It was a walk-in, and we didn't have any room. And they said, this is a Hilton 5-star. You should always keep an empty room in case something like this happens. And I remember at that time laughing, saying, what is this guy talking about? You know, like, this is not how it works. You have a room, you sell it. But now, you know, like after this interview, and of course, after all these years of experience, it makes you think maybe keeping an empty room is not the end of the world, and you can make somebody happy who already chose you, you know, by giving them that room if something goes wrong. So I find this very interesting after 7 years, you know.
You know, is it really worth it to make 300 extra revenue on Expedia, or comping this guest stay because you have no other room to give him? You know, what is it more worth it? You know, so I strongly believe that, leave room for mistakes, because we're all human, and mistakes happen. So
Adrian, what else do you want to ask? Do you want to ask anything else to Marta today?
I don't want to add anything else. Can you still hear me, guys? Because I think I had some problems with my headset, but I think everything should be okay. Yeah, can you still hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Because I don't want to. I don't speak this language yet, so I don't want to offend anyone. But yeah, it's beautiful how experience got you to a high end, you know, to top class hospitality. It's amazing. And then I'm sure it's always a challenge for you. It's always a challenge for you to be in those 5 stars hotels.
it's very interesting because you really are working with the elite. You're working with movie stars. You're working with, you know, you really are facing the other side. You're talking with Hollywood. So their expectations are also, you know, because also the service in Amsterdam, I find it very unpretentious. So we're very natural. We're, of course, we have the guidelines from the brands, but we are very told, have your own personality and never accept any disrespect. And then you really have a sheikh coming from Arabic that probably owns a lot of people. You know?
Tell us,
and you still need to be able...
please tell us one celebrity without giving names.
In the past.
Without giving names, just say he was a movie star in Titanic. Let's say, call it like that. But we're not gonna give names. Maybe he's watching. Fingers crossed. Yeah. Tell us one movie star who was a pain in, you know.
There.
Adrian, imagine my future manager is watching this. He will never hire me because he won't trust me, because I'm giving it all away.
Integrity. Integrity. We have to respect that.
Yeah, this is true.
But there was a sentence that you said that it was correct of a star that acted on a show or a movie. I did welcome them to a hotel. And
okay, amazing. That's beautiful. That's all I wanted to know. Fine. So if you're watching this, you know who. If you didn't survive on Titanic, yeah, you should be better in hotels.
Got this. Can you edit this out? I know.
Well, I will change the subject and I will say you have a lovely Christmas tree behind you. So thank you for including this in today's interview. And to conclude the interview today, I want to thank once again Marta for being on the call and for sharing her experience in customer service.
Very nice. Yeah.
Truly an honoring presence with us today, and I'm not kidding. And anybody else will be here again next week. We'll have another topic to discuss. If you want to be on the call again, let us know. If you want to hear about one specific topic again, let us know. We want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas for now.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Marta, as well. And have a wonderful evening. Goodbye, people.
See you guys.
Ciao.
Thank you.